Hello, America. I'm here to talk to you about coronavirus. Coronavirus is ravaging American society, especially New York, Louisiana, parts of California and Washington State, and Michigan. I mean, compare Michigan to Ontario. Supposedly, Ontario, which is right across the Detroit River in Canada, which is a lot larger than Michigan, maybe doesn't exactly have the same population characteristics, but Toronto's a big city. The Greater Toronto Area has something like, I don't know, 3 million people. So, anyway, it's a fairly big city, but Ontario itself has like 1,500 cases. Take Michigan. Michigan itself has over 2,000 deaths from coronavirus and something like 29,000 cases. Big difference between Canada and the United States. Mind you, all the parameters aren't equal, so you can't compare them exactly. But if you just take a look at those numbers, there's something definitely going wrong in Michigan, and that's why Governor Whitmer, Governor Gretchen Whitmer, has the stay at home in order. We've got it in Canada. Nobody seems to be complaining about it in Canada. But you see, you guys have Fox News. Fox News is a really poor, gotta get this straight, poor source of information. Why? Because they're airheads. They don't think about these things critically. And they're biased. Who knows? Maybe they're being bought off by Donald Trump. I don't know why they have such a good relationship with him. But I watch MSNBC. It's fairly unbiased. They are not Trump supporters. Yeah, it would be fair to say they're critical of Donald Trump, but their criticism is based on fact. It's based on what they perceive going on with that president and his inconsistent message and his self aggrandizement, which is the sign of a narcissist. And so, therefore, why he's even the president at all is any wonder how he could have ever actually gotten voted into office is pretty unbelievable, I think, to most people who actually can think about what he represents. In reality, he's not much more than a glorified used cars salesman who happened to inherit a lot of money from his father and kind of parade around, thinking he's a big man. Anyway, if America could have seen through that to be through that in the beginning, they wouldn't be dealing with this problem at all. But there is a problem right now, so you got to just keep in mind that you do have a narcissist. That narcissistic personality disorder (NPD) is actually a diagnosis, and somebody with that kind of disorder should not be the president because all his decisions and all his choices are based on what he thinks is good for himself and his own ego. So bear that in mind, America. Think about what you need to do to keep yourself safe from this coronavirus. Well, don't listen to Dr. Fauci because he's just going along with Donald Trump. He has ultimately become Donald Trump's stooge. He might be a competent doctor, he probably is. But because he's going along and following along the footsteps of Donald Trump, he's being complicit, which means that he's agreeing to what's taking place in the United States right now because he's not verbalizing what he really knows. And what he really knows is that the American people all should be following a protocol. So the message that he's sending the American people, because he is an authority, it being in line with Donald Trump's opinion, only reaffirms Donald Trump's position. So you can't believe what you're seeing on television when you see these White House briefings, because anybody that can see through this knows that it's a misrepresentation from Dr. Fauci. Misrepresentation based on his complicitness. And like I said before, he probably is a competent doctor, and he does have a different opinion, I'm sure of it, because he's not actually expressing his real opinion. In a way, he's kind of lying to the American people by just agreeing with Donald Trump. But America, get this straight. You guys need to do something else, which is follow a consistent protocol. Because if you don't, the virus will just go from one area to the next to the next. That's why in China, where I am, they cordoned off the entire city of Wuhan, which was the virus epicenter. Right now, they've lifted most of that, but it's still being checked. But China has opened up a population, China, a population 4 times the size of the population of America, 4 times the number of people, basically, had 80,000 cases. America's up to over 650,000 cases of the coronavirus and counting. China had maybe a little more than 3,000 deaths. America has 10 times as many within a month. Think about it. China had a consistent message. All the people followed it. They stayed in their neighborhoods, they stayed at home. It was easier for them because they're family oriented, and they cordoned off entire neighborhoods so people could still walk around the neighborhood, but they had to prove that they could gain access by being safe. And then they had to follow the restrictions of going out once a week or whatever it was for whatever was designated for that neighborhood to get groceries and whatnot. And then everyone was checked everywhere they went. They had their temperature taken, and now they do it by a QR code on their cell phones to make sure that everybody's safe. And they still do that for the big shopping malls because they want to make sure that the virus, if somebody does get it, they know where they've gotten it from. So America, you've got models, successful models to actually look at to see what you can do to ensure that your population is safe. Please try to do that. Donald Trump, please have a consistent message. You don't want the efforts of someone like Gretchen Whitmer being undermined because you're telling the American people you want to open up and she's telling them to stay at home. Well, you're undermining your own you're undermining the whole country by doing that. So please give her your support. Give all the states the support of having stay-at-home orders so they don't interact, so that the virus can basically wipe itself out so that it can't spread to other people. And for the people who do have it, they can be treated in the hospital. Please, America, do something right. Do something consistent, coherent, and make sure that you just simply stay safe.